Thomas D. writes, "Hello all, love the show. This question is for everyone. Now that all of you regularly meet famous actors and celebrities, take us all back to the first time each of you met someone famous. Who was the first actor you met? Was it a surreal moment?"
But for me, I mean, the first celebrity I got to, this is all the way back in the day when I was doing my old website called The Movie Blog, and the first celebrity I was invited to go and meet with was Oliver Stone. To talk about the 9/11 movie that he had done. And that was actually kind of a thrill, meeting a multi-Academy Award nominated winning director. I think the first actor I may have sat down with that I was actually kind of excited about, gosh, you know what, I can't remember who the first one was. It obviously wasn't super memorable for me, but...
Who'd you get starstruck by?
Lucas, and Bill Nye. I was starstruck by Bill Nye. That was a pretty cool moment for me.
Who was the first actor you snubbed?
Let's see. Yeah, that would be Robert De Niro. That would be Robert De Niro. What about you? Who was like the first big celeb you got to meet and interview?
Well, it was not an actor. It was actually a musician. Was my first encounter with a celebrity. My uncle's a music producer, so I used to meet a lot of his clients. And one of them, back in the 90s, was Dave Matthews.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I remember meeting him, and that was my first celebrity experience, and I was so young and small at the time that all I remember about the experience was looking up and thinking, wow, this guy is really tall. And that was my train of thought.
Yep. All right, I'll go back to the 90s. My first was also a rock star. I was in a music video for the band Infectious Grooves. The song's called Therapy. You could check it out on YouTube. I worked with Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes.
I was Ozzy Osbourne's like
him.
mad scientist companion. So it was like torture Mike Murin from Suicidal Tendencies. It was like, Ozzy and John Schnepp, please come on set. I was like, I've arrived. Like, I paid $100 to play a mad scientist for the day, but I got to hang out with Ozzy Osbourne and his trainer, because that was like, he had just gotten back in shape, and he was like, wow, Ozzy, you look amazing. He was like, yeah, just drinking some water. You know, it was like, really nice guy. So, and then I was like just happy to work with him. But the starstruck was Mark Hamill, like 8 years ago.
Oh yeah, that wasn't that long ago.
Right? 8 years ago, I was directing the very first episode of Metalocalypse, Death Clock, and we were in the record booth, and Mark Hamill was cast as, like, he plays a couple different characters in the show, and I just remember, like, I kind of what he did he did his voiceover parts, and we had a few notes here and there, but basically, just make him more southern, this and that. Then afterwards, we came out and were talking with him, and I remember my mind just kind of blanked out. I was like, I'm talking to Luke Skywalker, and he was just like, I was like, I can't believe I'm talking.
And you still talk and get a chance to hang out with him once in a while.
Yeah, we're pals now. Yeah. We went and saw Man of Steel together, guys. But no, I mean, back then it was like couldn't hear what he was saying because I was so freaked out. And he was actually talking about, I did voiceover for Blues Brothers 2000, because when I came back in, he was like wrapping up that story, and I was like, wait a minute, you did a cartoon called Blues Brothers 2000? I don't even think they ever even released it. So it took a while to even ever say anything to him about Star Wars, let alone even say, dude, you're the best Joker. It took like episode 3 to finally be like, Mr. Hamill, one other thing, just like super nerd. So that was my shock story.
What about you, Ashley? Have you had a chance yet to meet? Besides John Camp.
Of course. Yeah, actually, I don't know if he's considered an actor. I would consider him an actor, but the first celebrity I met, when I was a kid, I was a huge fan of WWF, which is now known as WWE. And somehow, some way, my friend's father got us to have dinner with The Big Show. And all I remember is,
really?
I know, how amazing. All I remember is how tiny his salad was. And I just kept thinking, you cannot be full with that tiny, tiny Caesar salad. And his wedding ring was so, so huge. I think it was his wedding ring, it was some sort of ring. But I had a fabulous night, and that's all I remember, how small his salad was. I don't even think I spoke. I was so shocked that the wrestling star was next to me.
Oh, it's The Big Show. I remember when I was a kid, my dad, because he was buddies with the owner of the London Gardens in London, Ontario, and they had a big WWF show there, and we got to go and stuff like that, and I got to meet Undertaker when he was still really young in his career. Who else was there? Sid Vicious was there that night. Dino Bravo was there that night. All these old time, and a very young Bret the Hitman Hart was there. So that was a...
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up And don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.